the floor.
Yo, check this out. Yo, somebody out from the Black Dog. Support Donitos, the Blue People channel, Beyond the Bridge.
Three, two, one. One, two, one, two.
De-escalate officer control encounter.
So sorry. It's so loud in here, and I think that people really need to hear this. So can we please be quiet just a little bit and have some respect? Pretty please. Thank you.
That's my bodyguard, Edward Jones. I use Edward Jones.
Boys, what are we doing?
Override.
Look at that! He's so cute! Gracias! Dude, this is amazing. This is pretty cool. Igual.
I'm a whirling dervish, I always twirl on purpose. I'm so surface level, don't you look behind the curtains. I'm nervous like I'm Nelly. Kelly's so evil, he not a person. What would a good one consist of? I'm probably not as perfect. It's probably not in my bloodline. My faith lies as far as my fathers allow, but truth I control where I land. I choose to be an island. I choose to pick up my plans till they all seem folly, but I guess I change that present to the past tense. Like Paps was a bastard, flabbergasted. Pap has a running pattern, polish splattered, nothing matters. Trying to love an ugly dancer, I am. Generation violence, part of the nation, not hiding from it all till it all become blinding. Fly across the sky till the blue turn violent, mock the passage of the days all ever I'm in. Don't feel free to chime in, rather keep you tuned out. Stick with flat drink sip instead of fizzled out routes. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work. This might be a boulder self-belief. No need for boating schools to tell me peace is fine. I find my own ground, crashing my own reef. No beef, all peace. Nah, that bang bang ski ski. You show the counts down. Clown caught up in his own heat. It's a lesson where you learn to shut the demons up. Nah, I'm kidding. You ain't no demon. You my homie, but I'm tweaking, bro. When you mix this and think you got business talking about my track, shut the bitch. Sorry. I guess I went too far with that one. It's easy to blame the homie for my shortcomings. Instead of working for different outcomes. It's all love, but it need to be self-love. Need to do this for me, not for anyone else,
No,
but
when he starts
not for
singing,
your approval
yeah.
or the words of the rest of, but to feel peace when I walk in the respite.
Guys, go
It
forward.
should be mine. Now I know it's mine alone. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work.
What about?
and gentlemen, introducing Nonito Donaire.
Could this be tonight?
Hey guys.
Hey, good
Wrong
morning, good
again.
afternoon, good evening to wherever you are around the world. Welcome to Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel.
I'm getting better at that.
Yeah, I am, huh?
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things to talk about today, huh?
Yeah, but just before we get into that, I do want to let y'all guys know that we will be ending early today. We're only doing a 1 hour, so we'll drop the link a lot faster today. We're gonna go stock top rank. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna go stalk them. But we are gonna go watch some sparring. Yeah, so just a quick update if you guys are wondering what's going on with the negotiations of Jason Maloney and Nonito Donaire. There is none yet.
We've just been waiting still, I think
Now it's
that
been a full
week.
7 days. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
been a full 7 days.
Yeah.
Nothing yet. Ugh. So there's that. Now we're just gonna jump right into it. The topic today, of course, is Terence Bud Crawford is signing a Golden Boy promotions to avoid Spence. Apparently my topic thing is weird. Anyway, I need to correct.
It's supposed to be with the question mark, right?
It is. Yeah. I'll go correct that. But go ahead. Let's talk about that. So we had seen over the weekend, right, that Terence Bud Crawford took a actually he didn't take a picture. Okay, so this is what I find strange, right? I just like to see like what's going on and how people are putting it out. And it's clear to say that Bud Crawford didn't put it on his social media. It was actually Golden Boy guys that put it on their social media.
Right. And people were just kind of wondering what's going on. I mean, they're taking a picture. What is going on?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if it was serious, why didn't Bud put it on his social media? Wouldn't he be like, hey?
Bud's been a little bit weird with social media. It's like it's either he's very emotional about what people are saying and he'll go out there to say something, or he doesn't. He just kind of disappear out of without really going with the social media stuff. So, but everybody's wondering because this is the thing that people has been talking about. They're very passionate about it. They're very emotional about it, and people are just making all kinds of assumption in their own ways of looking at or how the negotiation went and all of that stuff. So, people are just they want to see this fight happen between Crawford and Spence, but to go in that direction, what is going on is another question that people are going to be asking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the crazy thing is that when you see stuff from him or doing anything, right now there's the weird I just looked just to double check that he didn't, but apparently there's some weird push-up challenge now. Here, let me just share it with you guys so you guys get to see what I'm seeing this morning. This is a Monday and this is what I'm seeing. Do this one. Yeah. Okay. So this is what is on social media right now. I have
Have
no
people seen that?
idea. Can you guys see that? Press
Let me
one if you
see.
guys can
Oh yeah,
see it.
they see it. They
Okay,
see it.
you guys see it. Um, I don't know what this is exactly about, but I do want to see, just to see, because I want to see if Bud Crawford did post anything about
Golden Boy.
Golden Boy. Yeah, his meeting with Golden Boy. Because if he did, then I think that now we can have that conversation. I don't want to say like oh, he totally is having a conversation with them, because he hasn't put it up that he is. What is his Instagram? And why isn't it coming up? Oh, there we go. All right. So if he confirms that they are in talks, then that'll be something different. No, he didn't say anything.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's really nothing coming out from him. Maybe he's just trying to keep his option open again, in case that, because Golden Boy posted the picture,
Yeah.
but then at the same time, he's not posting anything. Maybe if there's something that opens up, then he might go in that direction. I mean, from what our assumptions are, that's what happened between the negotiation between him and Spence that kind of didn't really go through, and so he ended up going with Avanesian,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so if this thing don't go through, I mean, there's a lot of talk between the Golden Boys welterweight division. They got a couple guys out there, or a few guys out there with good records, with good names, and and there might be not just one Golden Boy fighter that can take a fight with Crawford.
Okay, so it actually isn't on Golden Boy's Twitter. It's on Oscar De La Hoya's Twitter.
Okay, it's Oscar's Twitter.
Mm-hmm. His personal Twitter.
Well, it seems like it's a big meeting because they got Bernard in there too. So the head honcho of Golden Boy is there to talk with Crawford. So we know that there's something is up.
Something is in the mix. Yeah,
right.
For sure. And I think like that's one of the biggest things, is that like just saying like, I don't know, for me, like until the fighter himself says something, because we've gone to I don't know how close like Bud is with Oscar, right? Like I don't know if they're friends. I don't know if he's friends with B-Hop, right?
Right.
Like because we have friends in different promotional companies as well.
Friends in low places?
Depending on which promotional company we're talking about. But we have conversations with different people, and
right.
we grab drinks, we have coffee, we have dinner, like, so it's not a big thing, but this is at an office. Right.
Yeah,
supposedly at their office space, Golden Boy's office space.
Right. And you got the two big guys for the Golden Boy. So that it's a serious conversation, whatever conversation they have in there. I would assume so, because you're in the office, unless you're like hanging out and stuff like that, which, like you said, we've hang out with promoters and we've had dinners and drinks and all of that stuff. But never, usually in the office, it's usually something serious. Bigger, something more of a serious conversation than just having a couple of drinks. Because usually when you're in the office, you'll have a dinner afterwards or something afterwards.
Well, I think it's funny because sometimes you don't want to go to dinner, right? Because you don't want anyone knowing about it. So you don't want people to catch you or whatever. I mean, we went to Lazy Dog the other day, ran into Ryan from Boxing Scene. Right. So like you don't want to just accidentally do that and they're like, oh crap, now they got a picture of us or whatever. Right. But they're fully posting it. That's one. Number two, like the office space, like I think is more confidential. Like no one's gonna be like right at the next table, like listening to what you're talking about or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just so interesting that, like I said, I'm not gonna read into it. People had said, they're like, well, what do you think? He's meeting with Golden. Like, I mean, until he says he's actually he's signed with them, like it
doesn't make sense to me to be signing with somebody. I mean, as it is, he's already been saying that I'm my own boss.
Well, let's take a look at what I got pulled up. Golden Boy's fighters. Like people are wondering, there's been whispers, of course, speculations. Who would they have him fight? Share screen. And so let's just be very clear about who Golden Boy has according to their website. All right, can you guys see that? Yes, they can. Okay. Let's take us off the screen and just put this in full view. Can you?
Yeah, right there. That one.
Okay. All right, there we go, guys. So on this, what we're seeing is this is all the fighters, and I'm actually going to refresh it just so we know that this is the latest update. Okay,
Golden Boy
there we go.
promotion.
Golden
yeah.
Boy Promotions. These are their world champions.
But let's go directly to the welterweight, because that's what we're talking about. Not
I
just
know, but I can't search by welterweight.
I know. Just look down into their
Okay, so
list.
these are all their fighters. This is all their fighters.
Right. So you're looking at the welterweight Blair Cobbs with 15-1, 1 draw, and 10 KOs. You know, Blair is an up and coming guy. You know, very vocal about what he has to say, and I think he had said something about Victor Ortiz. Not Victor Ortiz. I keep saying- Virgil Ortiz.
You always do
I
that.
know, but Virgil Ortiz saying that he was doing some steroids and stuff like that, and he had to apologize for it because they sent him a letter.
Cease and desist.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
So you can go back. That's one of the
but Blair's a very interesting. He's a very interesting talent, right? Like
Right.
He's very vocal, very flary. I think his ring name is
Blair the Flair.
But we're looking at 15-1-1, right?
Yes.
That's Blair. All right. If you want to see Blair versus Terence Crawford, press 1 in the chat. Okay, press 1 in the chat. All right. Next person in the welterweight.
Raul Correa.
11-0-0 and
9 KOs.
9 KOs. Okay, from Mexico. I haven't
So,
seen this guy fight.
I haven't really seen this guy. I mean, I've known Blair because we trained in the same gym for a while, and we had the same trainer for a bit too as well. So I've seen him, and I know his personality. But this guy, I haven't really known too much about him. As you can see, there's a lot of speculation too coming from Mexico, starting off with undefeated record and stuff like that. People can always say, "Oh, they just kind of feed him fighters," because that's how they really raise fighters in the first place.
His name is the Cougar.
The
I thought that
Cougar.
only goes for women that are older. But no, but it says he got the gold medal in the 2013 Olympic Cup Championships in Puerto Rico and gold in Washington, D.C.'s Golden Gloves tournament. So it's not like
Okay,
he's
so
just
he
staying
probably is
in
from the
Mexico.
U.S.
It seems like that.
Right, because if he's
it does
competing
say
in
his
Golden
home-
Gloves,
Mhm,
that's in the
mhm.
U.S., right?
Yeah. So, and he got gold in the
Is he
AIBA
from
World
Tampico,
Championship.
Mexico?
Tampico, Mexico.
I remember that's all I drank growing up was
No,
Tampico.
that's not different Tampico. All right, press 2 if you want to see him fight against Raul Correa.
Correa.
Okay, no one's pressing 1 or 2. Oh, someone said 0. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, cool.
Media. Helpful.
So
Another hell no. Okay, another hell no. Let's
okay,
keep
so we
moving.
go welterweight. Another welterweight that we have. I guess it has to be Virgil Ortiz Jr., 18-0 with 18 KOs. Wow. That's like
Okay, but and I'm gonna move the share screen to us real quick while we talk about Virgil Ortiz. Okay, let's back to us. Okay, so
Yes.
what's the problem with Virgil Ortiz? Press 3 if you want to see Virgil Ortiz versus Bud Crawford while we're talking. Press
Right.
3. Okay, 3 for Virgil Ortiz. Here's the problem: he's fighting Stanionis.
yes.
It already hit the okay. So the Stanionis fight was supposed to be, I think, in March.
I'm not quite sure, but
I think it was supposed
they're
to be March.
fighting. That was the
Macworld just
indication.
keeps saying 0.
Oh,
Hey, new country guys.
New Country says 3.
Okay, so here's the problem. Virgil and Stanionis, Golden Boy won the purse bid.
They did.
Roberto Diaz was the one who
He-
went to the WBA
yes.
to secure that
Right.
bid, right?
Right.
Um,
Was that the WBC?
no, he was at the BA in
Was it the
Florida.
BA?
Yeah, that's
He was in both of them.
yeah, but it was the BA where he won the purse bid for Virgil.
Oh, yes, that's right.
and-
That's right.
And Stanionis.
Yes, that's right.
But then Stanionis ended up having
So everybody's
surgery.
saying 3 right now.
Yes, but Virgil's
Stanionis.
Stanionis had surgery, had to postpone the fight, but the postponement date did get reannounced. I think it's late April, I believe. Someone correct. Yeah, April 29th
you
is
go.
the new date. So it's not like April 29th is far, but let us pretend, okay, that Virgil Ortiz wins against Stanionis in April 29th. For him to get back in the ring, what month do you think he's going to get back in the ring? He's not going to get
Well, that depends
June.
if it's an easy fight, or if it's a hard fight, then he could come back as soon as 2 to 3 months.
But you're looking at April 29, right? So let's just call it May.
Okay.
So
Cinco de
end of
Mayo.
June, but you're looking at like end of June, August, end of June, July, or August,
Uh-huh.
right? That's the soonest, and that's what. Okay, so that's what, the 9th month of the year, and we're still finishing at the 1st month of the year.
Right.
I mean, that's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long
Just
time.
wait.
I mean, but then again, if you look at how long he took to fight his next the previous fight was longer, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, ever since yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So for
Um,
him, I think they're at this level where just they will kind of choose, and it doesn't really matter if it's a year, as long as it's good for them and they feel like it's worthy or it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, so let's go back. So you guys are okay with Virgil Ortiz. There are
Yes,
some
everybody
people in the
said
chats that were saying that he's having trouble making weight. I'm not sure. Maybe he can just go to Oscar's lipo guy and cut some little bit more
we gotta
weight.
we gotta put my picture in here when I used to had my 300 abs.
Yeah. Lex Rocha.
Alexis Lex Rocha.
Yes. Now put a 4 in the chat if you want to see him against Rocha.
Well, apparently,
And Rocha did just fight. We just didn't watch it.
yes.
Yeah, he just fought. And it's nothing that we had against watching this fight. It was just more so the fact that we had watched the Better BF and the yard fight.
Right.
And we watched it with our 9-year-old. He wanted to do a breakdown, et cetera, et cetera. And we were a little bit just needed to do some family time away from boxing. So we didn't get to watch the fight. But you know what? We probably will end up watching the fight to give the breakdown and see if this is this would be a good fight. But press 4 if you guys think.
Well,
Alexis
from what
Rocha.
boxing MMA has said, maybe that's why Oscar is talking Rocha first and then Virgil second. Because Virgil won't be ready till the second half of the year, which we were just having a conversation about. And they do have, a couple guys in there that they can kind of choose on the welterweight size. Again, they got 4 guys in there that we were trying to vote on. And that would make sense if they put the previous guys that we talked about before Virgil Ortiz. And of course, granted that he does win this fight against Stanionis.
Yes, and he's from Santa Ana. He's a southpaw. This should be. I think that'll be pretty interesting. If they end up fighting, considering he just fought Saturday. I don't know. You could add 90 days if it's that easy to make the fight happen. So it's not as far off as like we were saying with the Stanionis fight, where he would have to wait until April 29.
Well, I think that they're gonna try to go with the more easier guy compared to Ortiz, and it would be the second guy. If he's orthodox, because both guys are southpaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they would go with that one, I think, because they would kind of want to go in that direction of Ortiz's stance.
Evan Sanchez, 11-1-0,
There's another
Clovis,
guy.
California. You told me all welterweights.
Yeah.
I'm showing you all welterweights.
But I think this guy
Where's
is
Clovis?
Clovis.
I don't have anything on him.
Shut your mouth, Cletus.
No. Okay, I can't find anything on him on that site, but at least they have. Okay, he just lost to Carlos Cervantes, so that's a no.
Oh yeah, okay.
By KO in the 5th round. So yeah. I don't think I'm not even gonna put a number on him because I have a feeling you guys are saying nope, keep going.
I think those 4 guys that we've already kind of put together are the ones most likely.
That's it.
Okay, there you go.
We don't have any more options anyway.
So let's yeah.
Stop share screen. Who is Stanionis signed to? Stanionis is signed to Probellum, Slim Creeper.
Yep.
Yes. So Stanionis is with Probellum. So with that being said, like, do you guys believe that if Crawford signs with Golden Boy, it's a good career move? he would have Alexis Rocha possibly, and Virgil Ortiz if Virgil Ortiz gets through the fight with Stanionis. Is that something that would be and we're also missing something.
What's that?
The Mando position of the BO.
Okay.
18 months. He fought Sean Porter.
Right.
That was, I believe, a December of a year, and it's coming up on a half.
Right.
So who is the mandatory for WBO?
Is Boots coming in there, or
Boots is the IBF interim.
is the IB? Oh, that's right. He had the IBF. That's
Shall
right.
we look? Let's look. Well, you go ahead, keep talking. I'm
So-
gonna pull.
But that doesn't really make sense to me if you're gonna try to sign with somebody and you're claiming you're your own boss and all of that stuff,
We're
right?
going back to the boss thing.
Yeah, because that's why this fight wasn't happening in the first place between Spence
And then he's gonna go
and
under
Crawford. And then if
Oscar.
he comes in to sign with another promoter, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
Does that make sense to you?
No.
So I don't think. I mean, I would assume that they're having a conversation to take on Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, you know, but before that, having another welterweight before going into you know, maybe a 2-fight deal, but not like a promotional deal, you know, because that just doesn't make sense to me. And you are claiming you want to be your own boss, and this is why, you know.
I completely agree. I think from the last, negotiations, it's super weird that you go from, okay, I'm going to be my own boss. I have my own promotional company, which is TBC, I think, but it's not a boxing promotional company
because
and
it
not
doesn't have a
licensed.
license.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have a license. So that's kind of thrown out the window. But then you go under Golden Boy. And let's remember, Golden Boy, didn't they try to sue PBC? Or they did. I know
That's all on
Golden
you,
Boy
man.
and Top Rank went after PBC. And I swear it was like they were trying to say that PBC was trying to monopolize the sport. Like, I think it's kind of funny that, I mean,
Right.
come on. Y'all are doing the same crap. Like,
Right.
stop. But I just don't think, like, when PBC came out, like, they were not happy. So they were going to do everything. If they can tie up PBC in the courts, then that's what they were going to do, right? Apparently that's not doing a thing. So anyway,
I'm still gonna go back into it, stating that he wants to be his own boss. So why would he sign with anybody else? That's all I'm saying. There is a negotiation. I can see that negotiation talking about, hey, if you fight this guy, we'll give you Victor Ortiz. God damn it. Virgil
Ortiz. Just say Ortiz. You're gonna keep saying
Ortiz.
Victor Ortiz.
The Ortiz. Oh man.
Yeah. So I think, like, I get it. I don't know because he is okay. So Alexis Rocha is number 3 in the WBO. Virgil Ortiz is number 1. Okay. So Virgil Ortiz, and then Keith Thurman's number 2.
Okay. Is this a WBO?
This is the BO.
Okay, so Rocha.
Here, let
Thurman.
me I'll share screen for everybody. Hold on just a second. So everyone knows what we are talking about. Share screen.
That's
January 2023 rankings.
So that's what we got
you guys see
on the
that?
WBO.
Let me make it a little bigger for everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Virgil Ortiz, Keith Thurman, Alexis Rocha.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay, wait, I have a question.
what is your question?
And this is probably going to get even more confusing. Virgil Ortiz had to fight Stanionis for the WBA.
Okay.
So if he positions himself there, does he lose the WBO ranking
Right.
for Crawford?
I don't know. All of this is,
You know what I'm saying?
I just want to know where Crawford stands in, because we're talking about them in that picture, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what is going on with the advice that he's getting from people, because obviously for a fighter, we fight everybody, right? But the ego between all of that stuff. I mean, blah 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 blah.
See,
You know.
see, Ortiz will drop out because he's fighting Stanionis for the WBA.
That's right. So,
So
he's
then
out
now
of
who's
that.
next? So
So
then
that's going into, well, Thurman's fighting.
He's fighting for a non-title
Yeah.
at 54. That's not going to
And
do
so
anything. to the
Rocha is
ranking.
what they're talking about then.
They could move him up to Rocha. Yeah.
So Rocha, and then I guess a
Golden Boy would have to. Well,
then again they can what you call it.
yep. See, Rocha will go from number 3 to Mando. I mean, Golden Boy is gonna. It's not gonna be Roberto Diaz this time. Someone from Golden Boy, maybe Eric Gomez, is going to have to petition for Alexis Rocha to move everyone out of the way due to their rankings in the other organizations to become the mandatory for Bud Crawford.
Right.
But why would Bud have to sign with them to have that?
That's
happen?
what I'm saying. Is it's not necessary for him to sign, knowing that he has a name. He can make, he's had, even though the last fight he had the people to back him up. So if that's the case, maybe that it's just a working relationship between the two promotion to kind of get the people to, I don't know,
What 2 promotions?
between, well, BLK is not a promotion. It's a streaming platform, So I mean, all of this is people need to or he needs to have good people behind him in terms of,
I don't know.
what? Hey, hey, hey! Appreciate you, Sean Clark. Bud isn't fit to be his own boss, considering how he handled the EJ negotiation. But I don't love Oscar being his boss. An advisor doesn't sound bad.
Do you think that Oscar and Al can sit down and play nice in the sandbox? And where would that fight be? Okay, so we all know. I dropped the link because you guys, I'm dropping it early because we literally have to get out of here at 10. Like, we can't draw this out today. So, okay. He didn't sign with BLK Prime, right? As a streaming service. It was a 1-fight deal, and that was it. So it's not like he's trapped into that. But if you bring in PBC, so if we do this Spence and Crawford negotiation again, now you have if Golden Boy, if he was signing with Golden Boy, you have Golden Boy who has DAZN, and you have PBC that has Showtime.
Yeah.
Before the first negotiation, Bud didn't have a TV streaming service. He had no network behind him. So it was just easy. Everything's going to go to Showtime. Now you're going to be, this whole thing where you're bringing another service. We can liken this also to Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, like Sean was saying, right.
But that shit hasn't been signed either.
That hasn't been signed when he said Monday is last day, or else whatever.
That's
whatever.
not how Oscar talks.
Well, I know it doesn't talk, but I'm just saying, How does he talk?
You can't move your face.
Monday. I can't move my face, just my mouth. So Monday is the last day. I can't do it.
Monday is the last day, but then it's funny how
it wasn't a specific Monday.
What? I'm waiting for Tank to go, okay, so Monday is your last day to sign up. Because he keeps saying, like, now it's like these details. What details? Like, you already.
Well, let's go back to Crawford, though.
Okay.
It just doesn't make sense to me to sign. So I don't think it's a sign. It's more of a negotiation for maybe Golden Boy's fighters, welterweight. What?
Oh, Sean said, I'll reserve my answer till after the Tank Garcia fight gets done. I agree. See, that's what I'm saying. If that fight doesn't get done, like, there's no way a Bud Crawford with Golden Boy is going to be made with PBC if we can't even get Tank and Garcia done, which is already, allegedly in the works. Contracts have been sent and we still haven't had it signed. Until that fight and we have a clear delineation on how they're playing, we wouldn't know. In addition to Tank and Ryan, of course, are different than Spence and Bud. Some people might want to fight.
What I truly believe is he has the wrong people around him to advise him, for fights and what to say, because it's just all the things right now, it just doesn't make any sense in that way. I think people are just not advising him well enough, and he needs to really kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know, because Bud is a fighter. I'm a fighter, and I know for me, I fight anybody. But if you are being advised the wrong way or wrong people, you might be swayed to take other options. Is what I'm saying.
Asante L, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Hey, HLD.
Hey, good
HOD.
morning, guys. How we doing, Nonita? How we doing, Rachel? Man,
Good,
blessing to
brother.
see you guys on here, man. I love the drop that you guys just had with the super chat.
Oh,
That
you've
was
never heard that?
no, it's my
My
first
son made
time.
that.
So our son made the jingle.
Oh, that's awesome. That
My
was
little
awesome.
DJ 9-year-old son.
Yeah,
I was like,
he's a great DJ.
Mama needs a jingle for the channel. And he's like, you want it hip hop or you want it EDM? I was like, hip hop, and so he made that.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So
So
what do you think about all this?
I, 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 I just think it just, if it goes through, I mean, it's not cemented yet, but if it goes through, we can forget about a Spence fight. And I'm not a fan of or a hardcore fan of either one of these guys, Crawford or Spence. But we do know it's a huge fight, and it's a fight as fans we all wanted to see. And
Yeah,
if he does sign with Golden Boy Promotions, it definitely just cements and proves that this guy was just jerking the fans around with all the BLK 25 million. That what happened to the 25 million that they had and all that? You know what I mean? Why ain't they backing them up
right,
now? You know what I mean? So it's sad for the fans, and I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm sorry, Crawford. If this is the route he takes, I can't wait till he gets knocked out. We need him out of the sport. We need people who want to fight. Look, Nonito, at his age, he's still wanting to rock with the big guys in the divisions. He's not playing games with that. He's trying to do whatever it takes to make the fights happen, which is good for his legacy. I know, and I know you guys negotiate your part, which is none of our business what you guys do with your negotiations as fans. But I do know you guys are smart enough to know what you guys got to do. And at the same time, you're feeding the fans what we want. And so we're not getting this out of Crawford. And all that does is he's just holding up this division. If he's not gonna want to do anything with this, and just fight, B-level fighters, who's Roca? This guy, he's gonna knock him out in 3-4 rounds. We know that. We
right.
saw how this guy fights. I mean, his head is in the line every time he punches. He's gonna get knocked out by Crawford. It's no surprise there. So it's just sad. I think it's just sad for the fans. This man is, and maybe respectfully, he's doing what is best for himself. All right. So if you wanna just collect the easy paychecks and it's what you want to do for your family, which is fine, but then don't promote yourself with all this other stuff that you're trying to make something that it's not gonna happen because you're just feeding the fans BS. That's
Well,
all.
well,
That's
the,
the way I see it.
well,
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, that's a good point when it comes down to that opinion of yours. Because that's what everybody sees. But I do see that fight with Crawford and Spence. There's just a lot of things going on in there, and it's like they're two magnets flipped the other way, and they're just getting pushed further and further. But I do see this another option that it may be Rocha or Roca, but what can happen if they do go in that direction is we'll get a good fight between Ortiz and him, you know, and that's a good fight that I want to see
Oh,
myself.
it's definitely a good fight, Nonito. I mean, that's
Right.
the only like shining light out of this if he does that. If they really make this Ortiz Crawford fight, it's a good fight. I wouldn't have mind seeing that, within a year ago. I wouldn't have mind seeing this fight already. So it's
Right.
about the only thing. But as far as it comes to what we wanted, I mean, the landscape was on point for these two guys, clear to make this fight. And as soon as he did this runaway with, leaving the bride at the altar and went with BOK, that
Yeah.
fight kind of got cemented. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
And
and let me
so,
address this. There's a guy in the chat that apparently is a Bud Crawford fan. He said, y'all sound restarted and like puppets. Y'all know the truth. Bro, like if you're gonna come in here and hate, at least spell retarded correctly, and not restarted. But legit, like these are all the things like you have to be accountable. Like, come on, y'all saying like, oh, Avanesian was somebody and he's a tough fighter and all this other BS. Like, I mean, you guys have more to do with trying to spin the narrative to make sure that he doesn't look bad for the choices he absolutely made. We're going out there trying to do the number ones in the division, trying to do the number twos, trying to get another world title. Your boy's not. And that's just what it is. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to defend it. I'm calling a spade, and I'm saying what the truth is. There's no hate by that. So if you can answer me as to why he's fighting number 6, 7, or 8, and we're fighting number 1, and you're telling me that he has a better resume or whatever, that's your maybe restart your brain a bit.
Well, I honestly think that people just need to kind of chill on it. They both need to just kind of step away from it. If they really want to make the fight happen, they make the fight happen. But I think that people, like I was talking about last night, about accountability. If you're like, hey, if you guys don't want to make the fight happen, I think the fighter needs to come out of their mouth. Not just, did this and that and did pointed, I put this, I put, there's so many stories that they're trying to put people in a view of what, to get on their side or whatever it may be. But I think for me, if I was in a position, I'd be like, hey man, I want to fight you. Let's make this happen. That would be coming from me.
That's literally what we keep doing with Maloney right now.
Right. That's exactly like, hey, Maloney, man, we haven't heard from you guys. You said we're negotiating. Our phone is open. Let's make the fight happen. That would be coming from me. If I was Crawford, if I was Spence, I would say, hey man, let's make the fight happen. You know what? This is what the people want. You know what? Let's make it happen. You know what? Let's if you think you're better than me, let's put our pot together. And the winner goes 80-20, 80-20. You know what? What about 40-60? Let's make it happen. Let's put all our money together so that whoever wins get more money than the other one. So that way all our ego is getting pushed out of the way.
I think it's fun if they actually HLD dropped. It would be fun that there would actually be a pot, like a winner's pot. They don't have that. Mo Pressure, hey. They don't have that so much in boxing. I mean,
why not?
The titles, wait. The sanctioning bodies like the WBC, when you're doing, when you have a purse bid, then they reserve 10% for the winner, right? So besides the split, 10% of it already will go to the winner, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, UFC does have their bonuses if you win, right? So you have your purse, and then you also have a bonus. I think that should be something that should be implemented in the WBSS. They had bonuses, right, for the winner. So I think it would actually.
I mean,
be
all
really
I'm saying,
fun.
all I'm saying is, if it has to do with money, if it has to do with a lot of things. You know what? Just because some people are like, there's narratives between both camps or both fan. Bases, right? They have, he's not want to fight, and this guy's like, he's not want to fight. We try to do this, we try to do that, or he's trying to do this, trying to do that. Like, no, like they're a part of their camp.
Okay, let me just say this, and then we're gonna introduce that dude.
Who's that dude?
Like, so this weekend, it was an interesting weekend. I think it started with Friday, and a lot of YouTubers kicking off.
Yeah.
But this is what irritates me, and I hope that dude, that Bud dude, that restarted dude, is in the in the chat, because this is why it irritates people like us. Besides everything else, y'all people who don't know how to spell retarded and try to say restarted are actually arguing dumb ass points. I literally had someone on trying to argue that silent investor is someone you can't find in a business. And I was like, you actually just picked a word out of the dictionary that sounded pretty to defend Bud. You guys are actually the ones that are making him look even worse. Okay, I'm gonna get off that. All right, hi, that dude.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I have a question, because I feel the exact opposite of how y'all feel, because I feel like it's a move that is strategic. If Spence saying he got options and he going up to 154, but he can fight Bud right now if he wanted to. It's like I hear so much of the same stuff, but everybody who I'm hearing it from is coming from a certain side. But it's like the general public is looking at it as you trying to offer the pound for pound best fighter a no guarantee. And me, I want to ask Nonito, as a fighter, being a champion, do you feel that it's really right to disrespect pound for pound that been through the career as you guys had? Like, it's like a common denominator. Only you and Crawford and Spence and people like that understand. So I want to know, like, do you feel that it's warranted?
Now, one thing I know, and this is from Espinosa, there was a guarantee beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
There
No,
was a
no. See,
guarantee.
the thing about Espinoza, we heard leaked audio of him not even knowing what's going on. He asking Spence, and Spence telling him that, "Hey, I want him to fight Keith," and you know, Crawford want more information. So Espinoza really wasn't even in the negotiation. He really didn't even know what was going on. It was basically Al. So, so I really don't understand that part.
Well,
Well,
it
because
came.
wait, because
Because I
Steven
do understand
Espinosa is the one
Espinoza,
that
he was Showtime.
guaranteed.
Yeah,
Espinoza, he
Yeah,
was Showtime, and I know how
yeah.
Showtime worked. It's more about the
right.
viewers and ratings and getting numbers. So I know, how it is with cameras in your face. So I understand Espinoza part, but I'm talking about, the overall facts.
So the negotiation has been this long, right?
Mm.
From the beginning, there was an easier process between them and
Usually, what happens with Showtime, HBO, ESPN, Match,
right,
DAZN, is what happens is the TV network says this is how much we're willing to put up for the fight. That's why Steven Espinoza was in it, because of the guarantees that were requested, how much Showtime would pay these two fighters to get in the ring.
right.
But the first two numbers I thought that were put on the table, he pretty much told him to fuck off and don't call. I think what was the
I'm
quote?
saying,
He
where could I find the information that? Because I know Spence said it was no guarantee. He was getting no
Well,
guarantee
that's
as
in the
well.
later aspect of
yeah,
of
this
of the
later.
negotiation because Crawford wanted transparency and all that stuff, and
No, he wanted a higher guarantee first.
Okay, I
You
yes,
have to, you
understand.
have to,
Okay,
you have to
okay, okay.
remember that
Got you.
that
Got you.
Bud came off of a guarantee of 5 mil. That's
Yeah.
nowhere near the number that was put of what he believed he should get for Spence for a guarantee plus
right,
an upside on top of the guarantee.
right.
And that's
Okay.
why everyone balked and was like, "What? Okay."
Well, I mean,
Now
if you
to
make
answer
a
your
guy
question
wait
though,
for, yeah, go
to
ahead.
answer your question though, given a fighter in his status without a guarantee, yes, 100% that is disrespectful. To me, I would want to have some fight, but then at the same time, if I'm guaranteed something small, it's also disrespectful.
Right, right.
So the
Yeah,
thing
because
is,
Tim Brown already came out and said that what they was gonna offer was gonna be disrespectful. I heard Tim Brown say that. I remember him saying that. And also, just last thing before I go, I just want to know, okay, if a, a company been making you wait for 4 years, and now you get to this point and ready for to make the fight, and there's no guarantee, do you just X out the 4 years? Like, because I'm trying to, look at it from a unbiased standpoint. I want to know, if you exit out, do you just exit out the 4 years, like when they met and Crawford wanted to fight, and it could have been made within them 4 years. Do you just exit out that time and just dwell on this time when it was still no guarantee? Because I know it make more sense for the PBC if Spence fight Keith, get that bag, then Spence fight Crawford. Like, I'm okay with it being a business move. It just, when they say this side ducking and this side ducking, I don't think neither side ducking. I
I
think
think
it's
so.
just
Yeah.
about business moves, about money, building it to the general public. Because you know,
Mhm.
as a real boxing fan, it's probably what, 300, 400,000, if that. But you're gonna have to do something else, and they not the type of people who gonna go out their character, go on Oprah, do something crazy like that, to sell the fight. So I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead, get the bag, but just let the public know. But I understand, I understand.
I don't think Oprah's going to allow this kind of Twitter mess and what they've said going back and
Right,
forth on the
right.
show.
Now
Yeah,
you
I'm
get
just
what I'm
saying.
saying. Like, they're not the type of people who to do nothing, for the shock value of it. Hey, Florida sell a fight. Mike Tyson will sell a fight.
Yeah.
They'll sell a fight. They're not finna go out their way to sell a fight. You know,
I mean, I do agree with you though. You know that both guys want to fight. It's just that there's a lot of things that just kind of
I think there's
scrambled
a
all
lot of
this shit
ego.
up.
Honestly, I
Ego,
think there's a lot
definitely
of
the
ego.
ego.
Here's the thing is
definitely.
like you have to okay. So if we were to ask Bud the numbers that he has pulled with Top Rank, I am going to assume he doesn't know the amount of tickets, the not the amount of tickets. Well, actually, yes, the amount of tickets and the how much people paid to watch his fights over the course of the time that he was with Top Rank, in addition to the pay-per-views that he sold. And so, with that being said, you have to know those numbers when you're going into a negotiation. Now, so that's why it's all like it's being really, really weird when he went over to BLK Prime because now they're gonna pull. He's like, okay, well now you're not with Top Rank, so did you pull those numbers? And can we go back into negotiation? Because I said when he went to BLK Prime, I was like, listen, taking this fight, Avernesian can make or break you. It's either gonna bring you really high and say, hey, look, this is all the numbers that
Right.
people paid for my fight and came to my fight, or it's gonna put you low and it's gonna say, ooh, actually the profit margin wasn't that good.
Well, can we agree? Can
It
we
sounds
agree?
like that BOK number scared him right back to where he needs to go with the top promoter to try to get paid because it's
But we
not going to
just,
happen with a BOK
we
Prime.
it's not like
Mhm.
Spence doing crazy numbers. It's the truth. It's not like nobody doing crazy numbers. But
No, 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 no. Agreed. But when you're
to
doing
counter
like
you on that, I would say this. I would say this. Now, let's be honest. Terence Crawford is the most talked about guy in boxing as of currently, and it's been like that for the past 3 months. Let's be honest. You know,
Mm.
but not for the
Talked
right
for him,
about,
it
but
was
nobody wants to shell out money,
no,
my man.
no. But he just made 10 mil with
No, he
BLK.
didn't.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Alleged. Well, my point exactly. But for fans to care about that, and they never cared about it about no other fighter,
Does
like
anybody think that
it's
BOK
a
made
lot of
any money on that fight?
stipulations. It's a lot of stipulations and
I don't think so.
roadblocks that they trying to put in front of the guy. And we just being honest. I'm just being honest. I can't. And then Spence, I heard I heard you say Spence Terrence Crawford go in the hole and he just hide, or either he emotional and he hide. And when I was thinking about it, I'm like, that sound like Spence. It's Spence. He'll say something like to Blair Cobbs or something, but when it's time for the negotiation, we didn't see Spence, and I'm like, that's crazy to me. But that's
You
all I got, you
shouldn't though.
guys.
You're not
Y'all have a
supposed
great
to
one.
be like when you're in the negotiation, when you're I mean what this is the reason why we're still talking because we're still not in damn negotiations with Maloney. So I'm like, do, hello, like pay attention, like let's go. But once we're in negotiations, everyone shuts their mouth. You're supposed to shut your mouth. It's supposed to be confidential. It's I think Spence did like an eye rolly emoji, but that's pretty much it because you don't once you've gotten traction and going back and forth and starting the negotiations you don't want to derail it by doing any of these things like for example our fight with Casemiro got derailed because of what because on Twitter and I'm actually glad it was on Twitter because it showed that Sean Gibbons wasn't sending in the VADA paperwork that was agreed upon so with
That
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 being
dude dropped. So
Oh, well, he could still hear me.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, we're in negotiations and all this other stuff. And because their mouth ran and we saw that they weren't going to send in the VADA paperwork on a timely manner, it was done. It was gone.
I
Yeah.
So
feel the whoever's in negotiations comes out in public and starts spewing all the subtle details of whatever's going on in the back scenes, it's just trying to do damage control while at the same time trying to get out of the situation of of whatever negotiations you're doing. That could be in boxing, that could be in a business setting. If because negotiations are shut tight, it's just a one side, we get it done. That's it. Nobody has to know all these other details. But that only comes out when you're trying to do damage control and you're trying to get out of a situation. That's my opinion on that. Because that's the way I feel when it's in the real world of other things that you're trying to do. And so when
well,
that happens, I just think that Crawford he's the only one who was doing damage control and spewing out things. And Spence is like, yeah, I'm ready. And at the end of the day, what the gentleman was talking about just a minute ago, out of Crawford's mouth, he said he agreed. So if he
Yeah.
agreed at the end of all this, why aren't we? Why didn't as fans here we did not get the most anticipated fight for the past maybe 4 or 5 years that we all wanted, and that's where my anger is at, because it's not that I'm not a Spence fan or a hardcore Crawford fan. I just wanted to see this massive fight. I think those fans got screwed. I think all of us who've been a lot of us here in this YouTube community, I've been hearing everybody going back and forth. That's all they talk about. Spence, Crawford, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody going crazy, right? And here we are with our hands in our pockets, whimpering that this did not happen. And I only feel that only one man did not truly want to make this fight happen, or did not do whatever it takes to make it happen. And here we are still talking about whatever movie's making. But I think that's my take, and I think I wish that he would have taken the approach. I don't know if you guys seen the Alexander Usyk tweet that he put out on Tyson Fury. He said, "Hey, Tyson Fury, you talk about legacy, you talk about greatness, you talk about, but then you want to start bringing in, oh, I want to make a lot of money." And then he just called him out. Look, man, my path is I want to fight the best, to be the best. And I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter about the money. Heck, we could do it for nothing. I want this greatness.
See, that right there, is what I'm talking about.
That's a lost mentality, though.
Yeah, because that's how I have.
But before
yes, I heard you a minute ago, Nonito. That's why I was like, yes.
Hey.
Wepa.
That's right, Sean Clark. EJ wasn't getting a guarantee either. He does better numbers than Bud. He has a network. Haven't heard one EJ fan complain about no guarantee.
Well, so back to what HLD was saying. I feel like that's a lost generation. Like, I think that breed of fighters, like, they're gone. And the thing is that we are in this stupid situation right now where I automatically assume, right? Like, so after me and after what happened with Nonito's last fight, we had talked. I said, like, I don't ever want to see you like that again, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes, give me one more chance. Who do you think can beat me in 18 or in 15? I was like, nobody when Inoue moves up, right? And so when we talked about that, we're like, there's no way that people will duck you, right? I was like, people should be
what happened
lining
in the
up.
last fight, right?
People should be lining up.
Right, but that's
just
not
like
the
they
case.
did with Pacquiao, right? Everybody
Yeah.
still wanted to fight Pacquiao because he was the biggest money in
Get that
the
name recognition. It's a big name. Nonito is a Hall of Famer. He's walking out here still in the game.
Calling me out. That's
but
the crazy
everyone's
thing.
running.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
the thing.
madness of it. I'm like,
That's the crazy thing for me. The way I came out the last fight, I mean, I think they would have been in line. Oh, he's getting old already. Let's get his name on our resume.
no,
My
but they're asking
God.
for,
I'm a
like,
24-year-old lion. A 24-year-old lion, Nonito, I'm banging on your door. Like, let's do this. I need
Right?
that name recognition, or you're going to let me know that I'm not as good as I thought I was. It's one of the two.
Yeah, but unfortunately, no one is really coming out to call me out. I'm the one that's trying to call them out.
And then they're saying they want the money. They're like, they want it, like, literally. Let's be honest. A lot of the flyweights to bantamweights on their best days. And let's talk about Estrada. Like, someone like Estrada, he's making close to $750,000. Okay, and that's really, really good for a flyweight division.
Yeah.
Right. But most of these other guys haven't seen $500,000. Right. And then they go, oh, like, so let's fight. And they're like, cool, I'm gonna fight Nonito, $2 million. It's like, what the? Where
that's
did
the
you
crazy
get
thing
that
is
number?
That's the crazy thing. These guys never made a million, or if they did, it's just closer to it.
None of them.
My point is, when we're trying to negotiate with all these other guys, they're asking for a lot of money. A lot of money. It's like they're pricing themselves out.
They need the health insurance.
And that's the thing.
It almost seems like they have a lost sense of what the true business part is, to begin negotiations in good faith, to understand what a fight is truly worth and how much your worth. And I guess you could use the metrics of what you've done in your past and what's maybe expected out of this future fight with this new opponent. And the Spence and Crawford. I've always thought it was about a 400,000 pay-per-view fight, somewhere around that number. And not too long ago, I also heard Eddie Hearn, say such a thing. He believes that the a guaranteed line would be at about a 400,000 pay-per-view buy type of fight. And so you have to, I don't think no negotiations is all perfect. I think, there has to be a give and take.
Hmm.
And as a fighter or as someone who's going into a negotiation, you got to understand, if this is a business that this other person is investing with you, they got to also make money. That's business. It's not like
Yeah.
it's all for you and you think they're just here to break even and just smile at the fans. No, they also have to make money. That's what business is about. Everybody needs
Right.
to make money. Not everybody's going to be 100% happy, but it's somewhere in the middle of it. But if you're only thinking about yourself, well, I think that's what I think we see with Crawford. He doesn't care if BLK Prime makes money or if maybe now they go with Golden Pro. He probably don't care. He's just like, I only want for
Right.
me. And unfortunately, that's not good business.
Yeah, well, let's look at like someone like, well, Haney when he was going to fight Cambosos. Like he was like, you know what? I want those belts. I don't care. Like all odds were
Yeah.
against him. He was in Australia. He took the short end for money. There was a rematch clause that still put it in Australia. And then his dad had issues trying to get into the country for the
Right.
first one. But like he was like, screw it, give me the opportunity. I feel like a lot of these younger players don't want to, they don't want to, like, where's the opportunity, they don't want to put their opportunity first to secure legacy. They're more of like, hey, well, I got to get paid, like lots and lots and lots of money. But Haney took that chance to go over there,
He
you
still
That's
know.
made
the
good
thing.
money though. He still made good money. It wasn't the exact money that he was getting from, but it was close to that 3 million, I think. So it
No,
was.
But the
but to
thing.
have it, first of all, to go okay, so I understand champion, you're going to go to his territory. To have the rematch in his territory again, like that, I don't know. For me,
Well,
I
I
was
mean, the business itself, because that's what Loma was going to be doing too. So it's I mean, I obviously Lou DiBella played his cards right to try to make this, well, that's what management's about. I mean, he had a good manager to try to make this fight happen. You want this fight with the undisputed, that's what you had to do. But yes, Haney did have to go. He had to do whatever he had to do. 2 fights, let's make it happen. A little bit less than what I was making before. Okay, let's make it happen, and that's admirable, and that's how it should be. That's exactly how it should be. I mean, Teo had to do that with Lomachenko. They were supposed to fight in that 2020 year in the spring, and they were one guy was probably going to get, I think it was 6.5 million. Teo was going to make 3.5. Pandemic happened. He ended up having to take like 1.2 million, I think, for that fight. Drastic cut, and they only wanted to give him 900. But yeah, he wanted the belts. So when and he gave the fans what we wanted, and that's what it's. I think we need some more of that. I understand it's a business. I know you got to take care of your family, but if you're not giving us the fight that we want to be entertained with, what's the point? Who's gonna remember Crawford and Evanesian? Who the hell's gonna remember that? I mean, if
mm,
anybody
they
watched it,
will remember it because of the fact of why it came to
I
be.
think we remember because we talked about it, but I didn't like watch it. I didn't pay for that. I am I no. I mean, I saw what I saw maybe on YouTube, but I didn't pay for that. I was nowhere near interested in paying $40 to watch that at all.
Yeah, no, we watched it on an iPad at the bar.
Yeah, because somebody had it. Somebody
Yeah.
had it.
So, well, because they had Teal's
We were,
fight
we were, yeah. They had To's fight on
on the
ESPN. We
TVs.
were at the bar. It was a WBA convention, and one of the guys next to me had his iPad, and we watched it through the iPad.
But we were going like this, watching
Yeah,
the Teal fight, watching the Abernation fight, or I even say Abernation fight, not the Bud fight.
I
But I
mean,
just feel like we keep getting switched, right? Like, I mean, you look at like
I mean, we just gotta go make it happen, man.
Tank
Shit.
versus Garcia, and then it ends up being Hector
Hector
Garcia, and we're like,
Garcia.
I mean, like we keep getting switched and baited a lot of these
Yeah,
well,
times.
it's crazy to me, man.
as
But
as fans, we got Crawford, who's arguably placed with I don't know, within the media critics, with this whole pound for pound number one, blah 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 blah.
yeah,
So you're the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. So I expect to be showcased against the best of the best to show me you are pound for pound. #1 in the world, and then you go against Ebenezer.
Right.
Yep.
Before that, let me make this love from my brother Drew Titan here. So we're gonna make it rain. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you, brother. Make it rain from Drew Titan LLC. Now, this is what I think. What happened? HLD. He's the #1. People are saying he's #1, but so I think he's trying to compare himself with Canelo being #1, and he should get Canelo money. I think that's the disruption in his team's perception. You know that he wants that Canelo money, which is like 30 million to 50 million or whatever. And the thing is, Canelo put the whole country to Vegas or wherever he goes. He brings the whole country. You know, I mean, as it is with Bud, you know, he might bring where's it Omaha with him, you know, but it's not the whole United States. You know
Look,
what I'm saying?
when Crawford did his weigh in, you could hear the individual out of sync claps of people in his crowd. And you when you at a Canelo, you know it's like a parade going out there. It's
Whole country,
10,000
the whole
people,
country. See, but
right?
that's what
And
I'm saying.
so it's a delusion if that's the case. It's
Because I
delusional
mean,
on their part.
you know, because he's stating, you know, he's his own boss, and he's, you know, he deserves this and all of that stuff. I mean, that's what I say. You know, the people around him and whoever is advising him is making him see a perception that is not equivalent to how people see him in terms of the comparison with Canelo.
Crawford
Right?
had an interview with this Akim Barak from the Zone show,
Uh-huh.
and right before this all of it, he said, "I'm not fighting for the money. I've made enough money. I'm fighting for the fun of it because I still can." And so you're putting that stuff out there. Then why are we still bickering and not giving the fans what we want? If you're saying that you're made, you're well off, you've done very well, and God bless him that he has. Give us the fans what we want. Then, if you're saying you already made all that you need to make, and you're only fighting for the fun of it, then what other fun is there than for legacy? I
If
don't
you're
get
gonna
it.
if you're gonna fight for the fun of it, then you got to do what we do.
Yeah.
Like we literally will go anywhere. Well, you don't ever want him in a damn negotiation. He'll
I'll
fight
do it
for
for free.
see.
That's
Hey,
just me, man.
that's why
I
that's why he's got his queen.
somebody says, "Oh, I made enough money." That's why I say, you know what? I made enough money, and that's why I would go for free. But don't tell that to the promotion. I'll have her deal
No,
with
we
all of
used
that
to
stuff.
argue about it. He's like, man, why are we still talking about this? You know, I would get in the ring for 20 grand. I go, okay, I'll give you your 20 and I'll keep the hundreds of thousands on that side. Since
Yeah.
you're okay with that,
But
you stay on
we
that
got to
side.
cut this short because I got to
Yeah.
go in training right now. Much love to everybody out here, man. HLD, thanks for coming up and having a
Yes.
chat with us,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate it.
know,
Thank you guys. Much love. God bless you guys.
Thank you, brother. And you know, this is a great conversation to have, you know, but unfortunately we have to cut this short. Thank you guys again for coming
We're
out
gonna go
here.
to Top Rank to see
Yeah.
if we can find anyone.
Right.
We'll go
Right.
find
So
people.
much love again. You know, there's no hate coming from us with Bud. I love Bud, you know. I love fighters. I love Spence. You know, these guys need respects coming from us, but of course everybody's split in both ways and they have their own narratives, they have their own uh opinion of things, and you know, they have the right as fans. You know, we all got to take it. Like for me, I have haters. You know, I have people that love me, I have people that don't like me, and I'm okay with that.
I have a lot of people that don't like
and
me.
it's okay. It's okay if you're a fan. If you're a fan for Crawford, if you're a fan for Spence, you know, let that be, because that's all you right as fans. Like I have my right as fan to make this fight happen. You know, but you know, be yourself out there, and I hope that we can make fights happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this is our opinion. There's no hate in this. We know
Yeah.
Bud. We actually don't know Spence.
We don't know Spence, but we do know a lot of people who love Spence.
No, yeah. But what I'm saying is we actually know Bud compared to Spence. And
Right.
the thing is, we can be fans of Bud, and I feel like we need to learn this trait. I don't know where it's gone and lost, but you guys need to learn. People need to learn to compartmentalize.
Mhm.
The guy that's in the ring might not be the person that's outside the ring, right? And it's okay to love the person in the ring and not like the person outside the ring. It's all good. But either way, it's love for boxing. This is why we're passionate. This is why you guys are arguing in the chats, and I love you guys.
So much love to both fighters. You know, whatever it may be, to everybody out there, much love for your passion in boxing, and we appreciate you. So,
and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And we'll stay longer tomorrow. So if you guys want to do a round 2 of this, we'll do it
tomorrow.
Until then, be safe.
Peace.
I'm Jarrell. And I am Logan. Thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe the video. And hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. KO! Jinx. Got ya.
Manito the nail. Filipino.